Hello everyone, Malphite here, and today we're going to talk about Razork and his situation in Fnatic. We know Fnatic wants to make some changes this offseason, and that's why we can see here on the Sheep Esports transfers that Oscarin and Razork and Humanoid, their top lane, jungle and mid lane, are not yet confirmed. But we also know that while replacing Oscarinin makes the most sense, replacing the jungle or mid lane, Razork or Humanoid, would be very tough, especially given how good these players are, but also how big their contracts are. So it's not just the fact that someone underperforms or shows a weird attitude for a split or two, and then the fans call for a change and they want someone out of the team. However, it's just not that easy to find someone better and also to suffer the consequences of having to pay this player while they're on the bench. So there were some rumors originally. This is from the Pedro People subreddit, but quite an old rumor saying that G2, Ginex, and NaVi are monitoring Razork's situation. Quite a plausible rumor given G2's possible situation. Razork is a very good jungler still. Giant X have Isma, right? They would want to change him, and NaVi don't have a jungler yet. Formerly they had Malrang, but I would totally understand why you would want to make some changes there. Now these rumors turned out to be false. Obviously G2 is not really a team that would make changes during the year unless something would go terribly wrong. So they're usually the team to kind of stuck. They like wait it out and try to make the best out of it. Try to build the team, build some synergy and so on. We know G2 is not doing that great this year. Letting Mickey go, I called it. I made a bunch of videos about it back in the day. It's just not great. And yeah, it turned out to be absolutely true. However, there's still some part of this that could potentially be true, and that is like potentially NaVi being interested, right? But we know NaVi wasn't allowed to talk to Razork, at least according to these rumors, and so on and so on. However, recently Vulu spoke about this, and here's a translation from French, that Razork is very likely staying with Fnatic, and this makes total sense. When I made a first video about the changes in Fnatic this offseason, I was saying that although some fans would like to replace him or Humanoid or both, this is just very unlikely given their contracts, but we'll get to that. The post continues, Rhilech was an option for Fnatic, but visa issues, which is quite often a thing when you try to get a player from Turkey. You usually want to get them very quickly, and you want to make a very decisive decision because it takes some time to get visa issues to Germany for players from Turkey. But it is still possible that he goes to NaVi, which is most likely because NaVi is in a spot where they can take more time with their roster building, while Fnatic may feel some pressure to build their roster as soon as possible. So yeah, this is maybe maybe this is surprising to some of the fans or hate watchers and others, but to me it was never really. To me, it would be surprising if we saw Razork or Humanoid get replaced, mostly because of the reasons I already stated at the beginning, being how good these players are. They're both top 3, top 4, if not top 2, depending on what kind of split they're having in their role in the whole league, and also their contracts are massive. And we can even see, why is this not? That's because I opened this. We can even see this is the current Fnatic roster, and all these players are signed until 2026, except for Humanoid and Upset, which means if Fnatic wants to get rid of Humanoid, maybe they can do so after the end of this year. But Razork still has contract until 2026, and so they would have to pay him very good salary still while he's benched. Same with Humanoid. So that's why I assume Razork and Humanoid are not gonna get replaced out of this team, and I really hope so, although we still haven't heard anything about this, so I'm not sure how secret it is or if it's not happening, but I would most likely want to see Oscar getting replaced with Wunder, and I think it would really help the team, and I think it would really freshen them up and help them get to Worlds, because I think I would really like to see Fnatic with Wunder and Mickey and Razork Humanoid upset. I think that roster sounds absolutely crazy, and I would really like to see this iteration at Worlds and see what this team can do. So let me know in the comments, what do you think about this? Would you like to see Wunder in Fnatic? What do you think about Razork most likely staying with Fnatic? What do you think about Rhilech potentially going to Navi? That's another piece of news from this video. So let me know what you think about this, the whole offseason and so on. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.